M0FXB, welcome back to my Mazzy dog walks. It's cold today, wrapped up. Anyway, I had a question. Why do we use CTCSS on a repeater, and what is CTCSS? Or you could just use a tone, a tone frequency. And I get that because I remember when I first started using ham radio, and I would tune through the 2 meter band, and I would get to a frequency like 145,600, and I'd hear activity and I think, oh, they're near me, that's quite active, not realizing, because I was new, that it was a repeater or a mast on a hill with an antenna on top, transmitting and retransmitting people's transmissions from their house. So as long as they could get to the repeater from their house, line of sight, and these repeaters tend to be on hills. If you hear the word gateway, it's because it's in someone's home. So as long as you can reach their gateway, then you can be retransmitted, but it's nothing like a repeater, of course. So the reason for CTCSS is to stop repeaters that are close together interfering with each other, because on the 2 meter band especially, certain conditions can arise where the range of the transmissions will travel further. Tropospheric ducting, as they say. So to make sure that repeaters, which normally don't interfere with each other, definitely don't, is they set a CTCSS or a tone. And so that the repeater has to be opened up, by a particular tone burst, and very often it's 94.8 on 2 meters and 77 hertz, and another one is 118 hertz. Oh, it's a lot muddier here than I thought. And I just wore my trainers today. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons. Another nice reason for CTCSS is if you set it on the receive and the transmit, you just hear the people talking. You don't get that sort of raspy radio sound, which I actually like to hear. But some people, they'll set it on receive and transmit. So then the next question is, why did repeaters tend to be on separate frequencies? Well, you've got to imagine that the repeater's working very hard, and you've got people transmitting into, we call it the input frequency, which is listening. The input frequency is the shift, so the frequency will be shifted down either 600 kilohertz or 7,600 kilohertz on 77s, generally, not always. Sometimes it's 9 megahertz. So that the traffic that the repeater is dealing with is on separate channels, basically separate frequencies. And then the repeater and how it's installed, there's hardware that can deal with that. And you've got to remember, with a repeater, with the configuration, there's a lot of work that goes in to make sure that everything is working perfectly, because a very slight miscalculation on a repeater can come out to cause a lot of problems for people using the repeater. So the repeater keeper and the person that's doing the hardware, because it's not always the keeper, because quite often the keeper might not even be the person that installs the hardware. He might have some ham radio volunteers, and even the treasurer, the money person, quite often is separate, because it'll be someone who's good at handling the money side of things, mainly paying the electricity bill. That's the big one. So then it's okay, well, should I donate to a repeater? Well, you definitely don't have to donate to anything, but of course they have an electric bill to pay. It's not often it's hard for them to buy the actual equipment, because you'll find that a lot of clubs and societies will actually donate equipment, and when they ask, when there's a repeater problem, say it gets blown down, the antenna gets blown down, you'll find that people will stump up the money, send 20 quid each, 50 people, and then that helps. But the actual putting up the antenna, that takes hard work. You've got to go to a hill like this, get on ladders and climbing equipment, and if it's on a good mast that's being used for our mobile phones and a lot of other things, then that makes it a lot easier to maintain, especially with the antenna, because you can get to everything. Although there is these masts like GB3WR, for example, you have to actually arrange an appointment because people are at allotted time slots to fix these repeaters. So you got to take your hat off to them. And in my area, it's G4RKY who's been doing these repeaters for 30 years, I would say. So anyway, there's my answer to CTCSS. Are repeaters still busy? Yes, they are, definitely. The locals love using repeaters. Some are busier than others, but generally every repeater that I try and use is active. And as they say, the whole real radio thing, I get that. There is something satisfying about not using the internet and not using an app or digital. It's a different kind of experience, but you'll find it's the same sort of people talking most days. And some of us like to chat, some of us like to listen most of the time. Most of us, I would say. And so yeah, support your local repeater, use it. I won't say use it or lose it, because I think that's very negative. Just use it. If you use it regular, think about putting your hand in your pocket and grabbing a few quid to help support it. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Bye for now.